Okay, on 5 through 8, put in slope-intercept form. Got to know the slope, got to know the y-intercept. Let's see what we got. Okay, so on number 5, I don't have either one of those. So based off what we're given with the 2 points, go calculate me the slope. So y2 minus y1 and x2 minus x1. Mark your arithmetic. -2, looks like I get a slope of -3. That starts to build my equation, but I'm missing the y-intercept. So as we've been saying then, pick one of those points. I'm going to take this one. You've got the slope as -4. Plug in those 2 points and solve for b. It looks like b turns out to be -8. Okay, number 6, you got to solve for y. All right, get y equals here, and I'm going to add 3x to both sides. Then I'm going to divide both sides by -9. Now, as I divide both sides by -9 here, reduce what we can. And what we end up with then is -1/3 x plus 3. Perpendicular, take that slope of 2, negative reciprocal. So it's going to be -1/2 x something. Got to find the y-intercept. So like we did up above on number 5, you're going to take that point, use the equation you're starting to build, and solve out for b. That gives me 1, subtract that 1, -3. When it is parallel, I'm going to keep the slope. Slopes of parallel lines are the same. But the first thing is I have to solve that for y. So I'm going to add 2x first, divide by that -1, and the slope is -2. So I'm going to steal the -2. Now that I'm building that, I'm going to take that point that is we want to go through and solve for b like we've been doing, and we get ourselves that equation. Okay. Number 9, keeping in mind parallel and perpendiculars here. The slope of A is 2/5. A is perpendicular to B, so now we have opposite reciprocal. C is perpendicular to C, so we are back to another opposite reciprocal. And C and D are parallel, so that is the same. Okay, so perpendicular, parallel, and A started off the whole thing. Okay, so the line D has a slope of 2/5. We'll just go with question 10. Y equals -2 is given. Graph and write the equation line perpendicular to that. That also passes through 0.5, 4. So to be perpendicular, it needs to go vertical, and 0.54 is this point right up here. So we want to be perpendicular through y equals 2, -2, and go through that line. So the equation of that line is vertical. So x equals 0.5. Okay, remember it's that special case where x equals and where it goes through on the x-axis. It's always the x-coordinate of the point that you want to go through. Every vertical line has a slope that we say is undefined. You're dividing by 0 because there is no run with that. On part B, we now want to make it parallel. So to be parallel, we want to go through -9, 3, and -9, 3 is just slightly off the graph. Okay, but we can then make our graph because it's going to be parallel. And that equation, because it's horizontal, y equals, and it's the y-coordinate of that point we wanted to go through. And the slope of every horizontal line is 0 because you are running, but you have no rise. And 0 divided by anything is, again, 0. So there we go. That's where I will pause and upload the notes. Nope, not the notes, but the key.